So take a look at the worksheet called um, absolute value functions. So a family is driving a car up a very large hill when they suddenly run out of gas. The car is traveling at 45 miles an hour when it runs out of gas, and we're going to call this 0 seconds. As the car continues to travel up the hill, it slows down 10 miles per hour every second. So create a function that models the speed of the car with respect to time. So you're going to fill out the chart, then draw the graph, and then come up with a function. Okay? I'm going to give you a minute to do that. So there was a question, what do you do once you get down to 0? I got to vote for go back up. Did anybody go below the x-axis? Oh, you guys are too smart. Why would the speed go back up? So if we trace the speed of the car going up the hill, so we're going 45 miles an hour and we're slowing and slowing and slowing and stop and then go back down, does your speedometer work in reverse? It actually does. And it's correct. So speed has no direction. What do you call speed and direction? Those of you who are in physics. It's called velocity. So speed is a positive number and it has no reference to direction. So if I'm walking 2 miles an hour forward and I stop and I go backward at the same speed, I'm still traveling 2 miles an hour even though I'm facing the wrong direction. So this is going to be 35 or 45, 35, 25, 15, 5, 5, 15, and back up. So if I draw this graph, it's going to look like this. When is the car not moving? 4.5 seconds, it's not moving. It's as high up the hill as it's going to get. Give an explanation in terms of the story, why the motion looks like it does. Why is it a V shape? So it's slowing down as it goes up the hill, and once it stops, it speeds up going down the hill. Something like that. How many times will the car travel 5 miles an hour? Twice. What is the speed of the car at 6 minutes? Well, that should say seconds. Oh, I'm on the wrong. Sorry. Let's see if we can. Okay. I was totally on the wrong part. What is the function for the speed? So, negative 10x plus 45. Does that explain the entire graph? No. How much does that explain? The first piece, which is from 0 to 4.5. So I could do a piecewise function, and I could separate it into a left piece and a right piece. But down here it asks, what is the absolute value function? What does an absolute value do? Right, it turns any negative numbers positive. So if I were to graph this negative 10x plus 45, it would look like that. Well, if I wanted to turn all of these negative numbers to positive numbers, all I have to do is put absolute value marks around it. And that will accomplish that feat. So let me show you on your calculator. So if I graph negative 10x plus 32, or no, 45, right? Here's the graph. Now my window's a little bit different, but I could change my window. Now, if I want to graph the absolute value, I'm going to clear this out. So everybody push math, go over to number, where it says ABS. And then some of your calculators will look like this, depending on how old your software is. Or it will actually give you these two vertical marks. But either way, you just type it in. Then I look at the graph, and it's the same basic graph, but instead of continuing below the x-axis, it folds it up and makes that V shape. Anybody having trouble graphing the absolute value? Okay. Does the function give the appropriate speed? Yes, if you use the absolute value. When is the car not moving? Did we answer that? 4.5 seconds. How fast is the car traveling at 7 seconds? 25. And then when is the car traveling 10 miles an hour? So they're 2 times 3.5 and 5.5. Okay. On the second part, you're going to do the same thing, but this time I'm not going to tell you what happens in the story. Instead of giving you the story and asking you for the function, I'm going to give you the function and then ask for the story. So car's traveling up the hill and the engine dies. And the speed of the car can be modeled by x squared minus 12x plus 32. So once again, all of these speeds are going to be positive. So we're going to go ahead and put absolute value marks around that. And then these down here that say minutes, they should say seconds. I don't know how I messed that up. So you're going to go through, fill out the table, draw the graph, and answer those questions.